So this is a bittersweet video. I am leaving Charlotte, North Carolina in 2 weeks. So I have 3 kids. I have 1 daughter and 2 boys. And you know, I'm established in Charlotte, got a good job. Got my own personal training business that is growing. Like, Charlotte is great. I love Charlotte. I've met some great people here. However, my kids were here with me for about 3 years, almost 3 years here, right? And they relocated back to our hometown. And at first my mindset was, all right, I got things going here. I could just really double down and work hard. But at the end of the day, me being a present father is way more important than any job, any clients, anything like that, right? I have a Class A CDL, so I can get a job anywhere. I've been a trainer back home. I have a reputation there. I can do that there. I love Charlotte. If my kids were still here, I would not leave. Of course, I think about, damn, what if I regret moving, da-da-da-da-da. But the what ifs I have surrounding my kids' development outweigh the what ifs of my happiness, right? And I'll explain that. I'm a very active dad. I get my kids every weekend, and even on the even on the weekends where I don't get them, I will go to my hometown to see them. I call them every day. We talk 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. I pray with them in the morning before they go to school. I call them after school. I call them in between clients, and I pray with them before they go to bed at night. I'm very active, but physically, I want to be more present. My what ifs are, what if my lack of physical presence causes my daughter to accept emotionally unavailable men, right? Because as parents, we try to do the best that we can, but intention versus impact. My intent would be to stay here, work, lay down a good foundation for them to build on. But the impact could be my daughter could have poor choices in men, right? With my boys, my intention is, yo, let me show y'all how to work hard. Let me show y'all how to stack your bread, do this, do that. But the impact could be my boys might grow up with a lack of self-control, or maybe always pursuing things that they think will give them my validation because I wasn't there physically, right? I grew up around my cousin and her husband primarily raised me from 8th grade till I grew up, and my cousin's dad, my uncle, was a very big impact in my life, and they were at all of my football games when I started playing ball in high school. My uncle would go to the travel games and all. My cousin's husband, he worked 3 jobs and he was at every football game. His sons, he was coaching their little league team. He coached their middle school teams. And as he grew as a man and started taking on less of the workload, he was heavily involved in their lives. And they are doing so well in life. I see the difference when you have an active physical father, right? And that's what I want for my kids. There's no other excuse. Happiness, I don't give a damn about that right now. I take happiness with me. You understand what I'm saying? But I want my kids are going to be adults longer than they're going to be kids. So me being present and coaching them, I'm a trainer, so helping them get in shape for their sports, coaching their teams, pulling up if they're having a bad day, spending quality time with them on a day-to-day basis is more important than any job, any of that. And I had to learn this. I wasn't always the best dad, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a dad growing up, so I'm having kids and winging it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, long video, but that's why I'm moving back.